The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. So now the Patriots getting set to take over on offense. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And incomplete to open things up. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
To throw now on 2nd and 10. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll run it here. This is James White. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
They stay on the ground with White. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. To throw. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
The Patriots send out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them. An extra corner on the field for New England here on 3rd down.
Yeah, another DB. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Now that's a great opening series defensively. You force what should be a 3-and-out on your opening possession.
And great coverage there on 3rd down to force the incompletion to set up 4th. On is the punter, Ryan, to send this one away. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Patriots take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They keep it on the ground. White again. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now White. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Here's a carry now for Mike Gillisley. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Room here to run. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And now a 1st down following that long gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now Gillisley loses it. It's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. He'll set up to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 4-yard pickup, and just like that, it's 3rd down. New England on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. They'll look to throw here. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Gostkowski now for the Pats field goal try. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the Patriots jump out to a 3-0 lead. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board. But the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if. While the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position.
This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3 and
not
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. The numbers for him from a week ago. 20 carries, 88 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. On 3rd down, Wilson. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Here's John Ryan now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. The Patriots offense now, they worked their way back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it a second down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. New England on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Let's go! Green, 39!
Back to throw here. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Now Wilson on first down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. So 1 quarter in the books. It's a rematch of Super Bowl 49. It's a 3-point game here early. We'll be back to Seattle right after this. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down here at the 23. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one, and it'll be third down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a third down.
And it was a stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. Maybe a little sign of life here offensively, Charles. They get their first down. They didn't have any in quarter number 1.
And I think what we're seeing is great evidence of good scouting by both teams, right? Understanding what they like to do, their best plays, try and take those away early. So now we're seeing some adjustments, and they end up getting their first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. Wilson going to throw again. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Seahawks on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. And now out come the Patriots. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Now Gillisley. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Well, they try to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
They'll set up a throw, and a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. Normally, that's not the down and distance that you call a draw play. You usually want to wait to 2nd or 3rd down with a definite passing situation before that play is dialed up.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here's Wilson to throw on 3rd down. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Here's John Ryan now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Yeah, this is a high kick, but it's not going anywhere. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
New England on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The Patriots send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And it's going to be a short field to work with after this one. It's touchdown at the 45-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. If you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
To throw is Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They'll run it now out of the gun. Finding room inside the 40. That good for 22 and a first down.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school that one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And that's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that answer.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So the Patriots coming out now. And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Palmer. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, we'll send you to Orlando and Larry Ridley as he'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. But no touchdowns. These guys need to give Larry some touchdowns to talk about.
Things are too easy for him right now back in the studio. Come on, guys. Help the man out. Give him something to talk about.
They're going to look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They go play action here on first down. And some room to roam now. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down. Now the Patriots moving quickly, hustling up to the line. Now back to throw. Bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. On first down, Wilson. And he slides to avoid the hit. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. On second down, here's Wilson. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it second and goal. Wilson trying to urge his guys to go faster and get set at the line.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed. Because they absolutely...
And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now you see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Palmer. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. They'll throw now on the final play. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Seahawks now for 2 straight weeks are having trouble throwing the football. The Patriots defense will hope they can force that trend to continue in the second half. All right, let's get it going. Here's the first half highlights. 1st and 10. We're going to get a fumble here. Now 1st and 10. Defense will win the battle and get the sack. This goes for a loss of 9. Following the 4th fumble, Wilson's going to take off here, and he caps off the 6-play drive with the score as they take the lead 7-3. So that'll do it from here in Orlando. For the second half kickoff, let's get you back up to Seattle and Brandon Guy.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So let's glance at a player spotlight now with Russell Wilson. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it second down. Now Wilson looking to throw on second down. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Here's John Ryan now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, shifty. Whoa. 31 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball, and then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure to just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call. But for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Gostkowski now for the Pats field goal try. From the right hash, this from 33. to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up. He's got daylight. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown.
No lead safe in the new NFL, but this score is really going to give them some needed breathing room.
Extra point try now for Walsh. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. It's a short kick taken near the 18. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Patriot offense now set to come back out on the field. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play there. Second down. No gain on that run. And while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
All right, here we go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. New England on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10.
Let's go. Blue landing. Blue landing.
Back to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? We talk all the time about how important it is to have leverage in blocking. It's also a big part of policing up gaps. Did you move someone out of the A gap? Did you move them out of the B gap in order to create space for your guy to run? In this case, all those gaps were shut down.
Yeah, the movement was defensive, and they got him for a loss. And the Seahawks on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Here's John Ryan now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or 2 shy of midfield. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here.
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Patriots have cut it back within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. And it's up through the goalposts. It's 17-10. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. 1 play, touchdown. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. From the gun, it's Wilson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. On is the punter, Ryan, to send this one away. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
A good pickup there, a 22. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's Patriot football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Carry for White. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Now White. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And thus far in this NFL season, no touchdown scored for him, and he's not going to get it on that play either.
And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This will be taken short. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Now it's Wilson. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. 2nd down now after the incompletion. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding him to no gain.
And incomplete here on third down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Patriots take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Back to throw now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here we go now.
They'll run with White. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
They'll drop to throw. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to make it fourth down. The Patriots send out their punter as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. And out now come the Seahawks. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. When we talk with people about what we think the most important quality for an NFL quarterback to possess, what do people usually say?
Arm strength, and he showed the arm strength there.
Yeah, pretty good bullet pass he threw, but he wasn't accurate, was he?
No.
Listen, you like mobility, but accuracy, first and foremost, is what a quarterback needs. He didn't possess it on that play.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. The Patriots offense now. They work their way back onto the field.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I don't know if careless is the right word there, but bottom line, here in the fourth quarter, tie game, you can't do that.
You sure can, Brandon, and not only do you give up the lead, now you've got to turn around, punt it away from your own 20 as well. So it's really a double whammy with time starting to become a factor.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here.
And he's got some space here.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head.
Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Brad, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. It'll be a 39-yard punt, give him a good 10 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out come the Patriots. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Back to throw. They find some open field here. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. That'll be a New England 1st down, a gain of 12. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Patriots moving quickly, hustling up to the line. He's back to throw. No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. 3rd down.
He'll definitely say that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
New England on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 16.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a 1st down. He'll look to throw. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here we go. 3-19.
Here's White. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. On 3rd down, that's White. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Brandon, that tackle right there, that might have just saved the ball game.
And his kick is good. Despite the rainstorm, a good snap, a good hold, and the kick went through. And it'll be a good time in the Back Bay tonight. The Patriots have won the football game. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these 2 teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for New England, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they'll fall to 1-2. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaud. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.